brother's still out there, my sister-in-law. I've had many friends overdose. Too many people are dying. Something has to change. But the only way that'll happen is if I change me. My dad said one time, you only have to change one thing, son. I said, what's that? He said, everything. And that's what I'm doing today. Give me a call before it's too late. You or a loved one, I'm here for you. Love you guys. Big D, Derek Lambert, subscribe, like, do what you do best. Show us some love in the comments section. Owen has a heck of a story, guys. Be sure to tune in. You don't want to miss it. Hit that bell so anytime I do another video, you get notified. And if you or a loved one is struggling, like it says, give me a call because I'm really here to try and help you out getting help. Too many people are dying. This stuff's no joke. People are dying left and right from drug addiction. And if you needed help, just hit me up. This is Owen, in and out of jail, dealing with addiction from heroin, painkillers, a variety of other substances, homelessness. He's a broken-hearted man in these pictures. Owen has done so much better these days. You guys, this is transformation. Sometimes we got to go through these things, and we want to try and prevent this as much as possible. Owen, 60 days ago. This is Owen, present. So Owen, tell me who you are, man, and what's your story? Like, tell me a little bit about you.
So I've been using drugs and alcohol for 24 years. I'm 38 years old, so it started at like 13 years old. I just chose this dark path to go down, and as a juvenile, I was convicted of 7 felonies. I did 13 months in an Eckerd youth alternative camp out in Hendersonville, North Carolina. There was no water, no food for those 13 months. It was we built our house out of trees. They taught me a lot of things there. For the first 7 months, I can remember getting restrained every day for the first 7 months. It was a 12-month sentence. I ended up doing an extra month for bad behavior. I can remember being restrained by 2 grown men, face down in the dirt. One guy sitting on my back, one guy sitting on my knee, on my legs, and I remember seeing the sun come up twice in that position. I was very, very defiant. I was mad at the world.
So your story of addiction, it really caught my attention while we were out there on that boat, and I really think our audience, including myself, would like to hear again some of the details you said. You said you were in a diaper, in a wheelchair. What put you in a wheelchair and a diaper?
Back a few years ago, I checked into a detox, into a treatment center, and I was coming off of benzos. I had asked my mom to put me in a hotel room because I was homeless, and at the time I needed to detox. And I didn't have any insurance. Insurance had run out, So I got in this hotel room. I took 54 Xanax bars in 2 days, trying to just get 1 hour sleep while I was detoxing from fentanyl. I had no idea the outcome of benzo withdrawal because I hadn't yet detoxed from benzos. And so I checked in this detox, and I remember I couldn't really think clearly. I remember the whole time I was really sick. I had some stuff going on physically, hepatitis B and C and all those good things. I remember just the whole time I was in that wheelchair, getting pushed into groups, and I just kept saying, as soon as I can walk, I'm gonna get out of this place and I'm gonna go feel better. And that's all I could think about. There was a lot of confusion there, detoxing from benzos and fentanyl.
And you've been to detox how many times?
Probably, guarantee you, over 100.
So you've been to the detox center over 100 times?
I've been to Drug Abuse Foundation down in Delray, Florida, at least 80 times to detox.
Wow, and then rehab, you've been to rehab probably
15 times. I haven't been but to 2 in the last 10 years, or 3 in the last 10 years since I I haven't had any insurance since I was 25. I'm 38 now.
And you've told me about your overdoses. So how many times did you overdose, and from what?
September 1st, 2009, I was going to pill mills down in Florida. It was ridiculous. I had a injury where I fell out of a tree when I was cutting trees down and hurt my neck, and I ended up in jail. And the guy told me about these pill mills. I was in West Palm Beach, Florida. That's where I'm from. And in these pill mills, dude, the whole thing was getting money, and I heard about it, and I got into it for that aspect. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I remember going to this doctor. He was 96 years old, and brought him an MRI, and he gave me 254 Oxy 30s, 226 Oxy 15s, 185 methadone 10s, 5 bottles of liquid oxycodone, 20 milligrams, and 85 Xanax bars, 2 milligrams. And I would go from that doctor to the next, and to the next, and to the next. And I was shipping those drugs all over, the United States. I got married 2012 or 2009 to my ex-wife, and we were going back and forth between Georgia and Florida, doing that whole scene, and it was chaos.
And your story, what I love about it is I won't be able to cover everything in this one interview, and that's something that I think is powerful about your story, that you have so many aspects of when you should have been dead and you couldn't die because it wasn't about you necessarily, that you were aiming at death, and you defied it in every aspect. Did you overdose only from opioids every time, or was there a combination that would cause you to overdose? What?
September 1st, 2009, let me go into that a little bit.
Okay.
So September 1st, 2009, I was in the hospital due to an abscess in my arm. My arm was humongous. They were talking. I remember before surgery, they said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "I don't give a shit if you cut off my arm. Just please don't let me wake up in withdrawal." They were pumping me full of 100 mics of fentanyl and Dilaudid and morphine, and I didn't think they were going to let that happen, but 17 hours after surgery, I woke up, and I remember waking up, and I was so sick. I was laying in my own feces, my own urine, throw up was stuck to the side of my face. I reached in the drawer. I had 200. I just had got my prescription filled prior to getting in the hospital. I grabbed the oxys, and I crawled from the hospital bed to the bathroom sink, and that's how I know God works in my life today. I remember turning on the hot water. I had stolen a syringe that screws onto my PICC line that was running through my armpit into my heart. And I grabbed this syringe and I just poured the oxys in there, filled it to the top. And I knew that, the hospital water is just really hot in the hospital. If you've ever been to a hospital, it's really, really hot. And I didn't crush the pills. I just put them in there and just made like this blue slushy, and screwed it onto my PICC line and just forced it into me. And I wasn't trying to kill myself. I was just trying to feel better, but I was just, the detox was just so bad I wasn't thinking. And then when I did, lights went out. I woke up. What happened was the towel fell into the sink. The water overflowed the sink, went underneath the door into the hospital lobby where security was waiting. And they saw the water coming out, and they came in, and I was face down in the water in the bathroom. They brought me back with Narcan, and I was in a coma, taking 2 breaths a minute, on a ventilator, and that lasted for a few days. I woke up to my family in the room, and I was so mad at the world. I hadn't seen my family in a few years, and the only thing I could think of was, get out, get away from me. Where's my oxys? That's all I could think about. They thought I was trying to kill myself at the hospital, so they Baker acted me into a psych ward for 3 days, and I did that little show.
And so now, because we can go into a ton of war stories, I
Sure.
know you have a million, and we will, at some point, we will be having you back on the show. My question is, you're now clean, okay, and you're 55 days from hell. What would you say to someone out there right now, from the heart? If you had any way to try and get them to reach out right now for help, what would you say, man?
had a buddy reach out to me today that was on the streets with me. His name's Sam, man. And, he's asking me about, how did you get out here to California? How did you get where you're at? Because, I've been on the streets for a long time.
You were homeless for?
I was homeless for 7 years. And, I can't begin to tell you what that does to somebody that panhandles with a sign in their hand in their hometown, with their family, with their friends, looking at you on a daily basis, knowing they can't help you. I couldn't help me. I was lost. I accepted the fact that I was going to die. And there's a lot of people out there that are still out there that all I can do is give words of encouragement and tell them just to, pray. I will be back for you. That's a promise. I'm getting my life right now. As soon as the door opens and I can get you help, I'm there for you. I promise you. That's a promise.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.